I like that. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
He's
Tim, what do you
champ.
think?
He's got the crown. He's allowed to do that. And look, I don't see any lies there at all. I think when you go back and look at Kyrie Irving's championship winning season with LeBron in 2016, LeBron was the point guard, Kyrie was the shooting guard. When he had his best season with the Nets last year when they had the big three, James Harden was the point guard, Kyrie was the shooting guard. Kyrie is at his best when he is a flat-out scorer and doesn't have to deal with anything else on the court, right? If he's playing alongside LeBron James and with Anthony Davis in LA, that's the optimal situation for his basketball talent. Now, again, I think the Lakers probably would not be, to me, at the top of my list of championship contenders because they would have to fill out the roster with a bunch of minimum players. We've seen all three of these guys now have injury issues, right? LeBron has always been, until the last couple of years, that's been the biggest thing, right? He's always on the court. That's not the case anymore. Anthony Davis gets hurt a lot. We know Kyrie always gets hurt and misses at least 15, 20 games in a season. So I think they would have some challenges, but again, the NBA is a talent league. Those three guys have a ton of talent, and if you're talking about just the optimal fit for Kyrie, is as a scorer next to an elite playmaker, and that's LeBron James.
Wow. So could they actually win it, Zach? Could they actually win it with this combination? Would Kyrie actually leave $30 million on the table to play for the Lakers?
Well, the second question, I'm staying away from because the answer to everything could be yes with Kyrie Irving. I have absolutely no idea. He did leave $17 million on the table because he didn't want to get vaccinated. By the way, another player who didn't want to get vaccinated, Andrew Wiggins, did so for the sake of his team and changed his entire career trajectory as a result. That's neither here nor there. Could they win a championship? Absolutely. 18 months ago, if you had just said Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, everybody in the NBA would have said, oh my God, that is an absolutely perfect complementary big three. All the pieces fit together. All this stuff about how Russ doesn't fit, all that goes out the window. They would need 3 or 4 role players to develop. You don't necessarily need them to be stars, but you need 3-and-D guys who you trust to be on the floor late in games around those 3 guys with Anthony Davis preferably playing center. Whether that's Taylor Horton-Tucker making the leap that they hoped he would make last year, we'll see. Austin Reeves, how much better can he get? Do they need to find this year's version of a Malik Monk? Do they need one of these guys to work out 2 of them? Absolutely. But that foundation, those big 3, if they're healthy, Kyrie, all signs are there. The vaccine mandates, all that stuff is gone. Why can't he play 60 games? And Anthony Davis, we're all sleeping on him, man. That guy at full throttle, at full health, can still be a top 10 player in the NBA. I'm not really sure what's happened to his jump shot or what happened to it in the bubble when he made everything, but there's a great superstar player in there that everyone's kind of forgotten about. They can absolutely win. They would not be my favorites, the way the Clippers have loaded up, the way the Nuggets are primed to load up, the way the Warriors are coming off the title and all the teams in the East, but absolutely they could win it.
39-13, LeBron and Kyrie. All right, you had Anthony Davis, a healthy Anthony Davis. And like Anthony Davis, he didn't shoot the ball well because, you know what? He wasn't on the floor. He didn't have reps. He didn't have, I'm like, you still have to practice despite popular demand. I mean, you see good players, all right, work on their games. But you can't work on your game if you're not healthy. It's just that plain and simple. So 39-13, you put Kyrie with those 2. Now, I don't care. Look, $17 million this year, $30 million. I don't care how much money you have. You just don't leave that kind of money on the table. Are you kidding me? Look, I know he's different.
As Zach said,
he did.
In any situation.
17, but not 30 something.
Zach said he did.
Well, listen, in any situation with Kyrie Irving, the only correct answer is maybe. That's it.
Well,
so maybe he will and maybe he won't, but that's it. There's no way to say with certainty on either side of anything what's going to happen.
Because there's no way you can make a deal with Westbrook to clear that cap money, right?
Well, I mean,
it's 2 years because
you could do.
Westbrook only has 1 year.
You could do lots of things. I mean, it isn't impossible, but it gets complicated because it's a huge contract number, and you have to find somebody who's willing to take it. Obviously, not sure the Nets would. I mean, that's where you get into a complicated game.
Seth just can't fathom leaving $30 million on the table.
Well, it's not. It's 47 now because he left 17 on last year. I mean, look, you can be successful. You can have a lot of money. I know he wants to win. To me, it was like a kumbaya because obviously the situation with LeBron in Cleveland, the end of the game, and you said that's been all healed up, and that's great, and time does heal all.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, going back to even as far as his last season with the Celtics, right. You know, they had one of their biggest wins of the season in an overtime win against Toronto at home. And Kyrie came in the locker room after the game and talked about how he'd called LeBron, and this was after Kyrie had his run-ins with Jaylen Brown and some of the young guys on the team and said, yeah, you know, I remember when I was a young guy with Cleveland and I know how difficult I was, and now I see how hard it was to deal with me because now I am the veteran who's dealing with.
So he was a knucklehead in Cleveland.
Well,
Now
this was a way,
explain the recent behavior.
Well, it was a way for Kyrie to equate himself with LeBron and to kind of spin the narrative back in his favor. But it also is a sign that over time, some of the issues that went on in Cleveland, I think, have been healed over.
Okay.
And look, certainly with where the Lakers are at, you know, if they could add Kyrie Irving, you know, beggars can't be choosers. You add a guy like that to a team where the Lakers are right now, as Zach said, it fundamentally changes their outlook. If that's
LeBron does not want to lose. Let's put it this way. LeBron James does not want to have his last few years playing at the highest level, maybe the greatest player of all time, and getting himself whacked all over the place. I mean, he needs to find a way to get a roster that he has a chance to win.
And this might give it to him. Zach, put a bow on it for us.
If they are able to do this, you absolutely have to do it. You figure out the Russ thing later, whether it's as part of this or you have to waive him or he just comes off the bench and plays 12 minutes for you, because those three guys fit hand in glove and you just figure out the rest later. Right now, the Lakers, I don't think, even if everything hits right for them, I don't think their roster is good enough to compete or really win the title, let's say. With that guy, Kyrie, he gives you at least a chance. And as Seth said, LeBron just needs a chance. LeBron just wants a chance. He's not in this anymore to be the 5th seed or the 6th seed in a loaded Western Conference. He's not in it for that.
Yeah, it would be a dangerous team with Kyrie on it. We'll see how this all plays out. Thanks, guys. Well, the NFL's decision on any talent, right?
When did the Yankee Stadium bleachers become a wholesome place? This is the nicest thing that's ever happened in the outfield of Yankee Stadium.
That's not right.
That's so true. That's absolutely true. Look at that, a place of joy.
A lot of hate. Hey, it's beautiful in the Bronx.
looking like a true New England guy.
I mean, goodness gracious. All right.
Okay, back to a little
Red
sneaky
Sox.
hembo time for the New England guy. By total points, who is the all-time leading scorer in Nets history, Zach?
Brooke Lopez, short and sweet.
Whoa! Whoa!
I was hoping you
He's
were gonna-
right! Whoa!
I'm mad at Hembo because I knew that too. I was talking with Greenberg about it during the break. Well done, Zach.
Really? I was so far off of that. Buck Williams was second, but wow, Zach just throwing it down.
Nailed it.
Didn't even give Hembo a
No
chance to
wasted
breathe.
time today.
Hembo.
Oh, wow.
He's not even here to give you his reaction.
Just brutal.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was a good one, Zach. All right, let's play a little game of What Will They Do with Seth Greenberg. Seth, kick it off for us, starting with James Harden.
James Harden's going to sign with Philadelphia. He's going to probably sign an extended deal. And look, he's not leaving money on the table. But more importantly, this Philadelphia team, they got their core group back. The big thing is the dude's got to get in shape. Right now, think about this. Over the last 2 years, only 10 dunks, under 60% from 3 feet. Why? Because he didn't have that burst. He didn't have that lift. He couldn't play through contact. James Harden in shape, now that he's healthy, in shape, he will be a different player. He will be with the Sixers.
The full off season for him to work on that hamstring. We'll see if he's got that burst back next year. That's who he is.
Huge year.
What about Brad Beal?
Bradley Beal's going to take the money and run. I'm not sure they're going to win. I do like Johnny Davis, their first-round draft choice, who has a great middle game. But Beal is an elite scorer. I'm surprised a little bit because you want to compete for a championship, especially with the addition that he can bring to another team. But I think Bradley Beal is going to be in Washington. Obviously, he's going to make a lot of buckets. I'm not sure he's going to win a lot of games. The dude can flat out score the basketball. And then Kyrie. Tim said, who knows? What's Kyrie going to do? Is he going to talk to KD? Is KD going to be in the deal? I think Kyrie's going to be back in Brooklyn. Just to me, they've got to figure out a way to make it work. I don't think they're going to be a max deal. They're going to try to find some compromise. You put Ben Simmons with Kyrie, with KD, and you have a chance to win a championship. I think he sees that. He buys in. They find some type of compromise.
All right, so if he's not in Brooklyn, maybe he'll be in LA. That's what people are talking about. And guess who else is talking about it? Draymond. Look at what he had to say about the possibility of Kyrie joining the Lakers. With LeBron James, if you give them someone like Kyrie, they'll have a chance because of the way Kyrie can score the basketball. LeBron will only put him in a position to do that. Kyrie has not proven to be a great leader.